What's up, sippers?
Hey, sippers.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Champagne Podcast. My name is Lena.
And I'm Dee.
Yes, and we are up in the man cave.
As y'all see,
Mm-hmm.
y'all recognize the scenery. We are at the home of Ed's Man Cave.
Yes.
Also known as my daddy.
Unc.
Yes, Uncle Buck.
Yes, so thank you for allowing us to use your space again.
Yeah, thank you, Pops.
It's really nice up in here. Got it set up to Tea and Champagne Podcast style. So
we do, but it's already a vibe. Like,
yeah.
Again, I wish we could do a 360. The last time we was here, I was like on that side saying, I wish y'all could see all the things. And it's another angle this time, but I wish y'all could see all the things. It's nice, but it's an aesthetic. It's a vibe.
Yes.
It's a mood.
It's a mood. And we have some drink today.
We do. We finally doing it right this time.
Yes. Mic is loose. But we have some old-fashioned cocktail on the rocks, premium cocktail that we got a while ago, and it's good.
At our Nashville girls trip, we stopped through, picked up a couple bottles, and y'all, it's pretty good. It's a cocktail in a bottle, and it's an old-fashioned balance, but it's nice.
Yeah. Ooh. And it has Kentucky whiskey in it, or Kentucky bourbon. So yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. I was telling Dee, I already see my rosy cheeks.
I know. My face doesn't do that.
My rosy cheeks.
But I'm glad we toasting, because in true tea and champagne form, we have to have a cup in our hand. Yeah. Our first episode, we kind of tiptoed into the season.
Oh my God. Yeah, we did. I'm just looking at this mic.
What's wrong?
It keeps moving.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Is there not a screw to tighten
it? It's cool.
Okay.
I'll make it do what it do.
But yeah, we tiptoed into our first episode with our beautiful guest.
Yes.
And shout out to her.
Jasmine.
Yes.
Jasmine Nord.
Yes.
Nord. I was about to
our stylist expert.
Yes. She was very informative. So, I mean, you guys should definitely hit her up.
Yes.
Y'all need styling advice. You want to change your style, she styles to your proportion size. So she had a lot of information. I mean, it's interesting to learn because it's a profession. It's not necessarily like
it's not just a hobby.
A hobby. Yeah. No. It's so much to learn. So thank you, Jasmine, again for becoming a sipper and speaking to our sippers on how you can enhance your style.
Thank you, Jasmine. We really enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you for opening up our season 3 with us and breaking that ice. And now we're back with our next episode for our season 3. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Oh, let me get the cup.
Just, two besties co-hosting a podcast here.
Yep. They're doing the damn thing.
Third time around the sun. It's exciting. And again, it's just us today, no guest, but it's going to be a good episode. Apparently, we got someone special on the platform today. Me.
Someone special on the platform is right. It is Dee.
And we got someone special interviewing
me.
So I'm excited for this episode. Yes. We love our guests, but we also love to just give y'all us.
Yeah, and give y'all some real tea.
Yes.
So, well, before we get into the tea, though, we just have to go ahead and do our announcements. Of course, sippers, if you would like to be a guest on Tea and Champagne Podcast, you can email us at teaandchampagnepod@gmail.com. And when you do that, you can be like Jasmine or DJ King or Ian Sullivan, or Tammy, all those people that we interviewed last season. They reached out to us and we were happy and gracious to have them on our podcast. So you do the same. Reach out to us and we would love to have you on the pod.
Yes. Thank you guys for considering joining us. Yes. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Y'all should join.
Oh, Dee, you want to go ahead and work on the Black Business of the Week?
I am. I am going to make a special shout out to Chattanooga's up and coming event. And although it's an event, it is still a Black business. It is still around Black excellence, and it's in Chattanooga, and it's local excellence. So right now we're highlighting Chattanooga Business Elite. Shout out to Chattanooga Business Elite. We want to always give them their props and their dues because it is about that time of year again where they put on the Black Excellence Chattanooga Awards. And before they can do their awards, we need you guys to nominate your favorite Black businesses in Chattanooga. Okay. So remember to nominate your favorite Black business owner or professional for the 2025 Black Excellence Awards. Again, I can't believe it's about to be 2025 Black Excellence Award season already. So don't forget to nominate your faves. And the deadline is going to be today. So it is not too late. You're playing our podcast today. It's not too late if you're playing it Monday, September 30th. So if you're playing our podcast the day we release it, which would be the 30th, it's not too late to nominate. So go ahead and get it in before the end of the day, Monday, September 30th. Now, if you're listening after September 30th, 2024, it's too late. It's already passed. So disregard. But if you're listening to us live upon presenting this episode, just go on their website. The link will be in our podcast description. It's really easy. You scroll through, you select the category, and you input the information of your favorite person. It's real simple. They ask for simple demographics about you, and you click submit, and that's it. And tell your friends and family. The awards will take place February 1st, 2025. And you can submit your nomination again through the link in our description. Now, the Chattanooga Business Elite, they are dedicated to informing and connecting Black individuals in Hamilton County, in Chattanooga and surrounding regions. So let's celebrate the incredible impact of Black excellence and professionals in Chattanooga.
Yes. So snap for BEC or cheers to them.
Cheers. Toast up.
To them.
Absolutely.
They do a hell of a job, and I can't believe that 2025 is already like around the corner.
We sneezed and 2024 was here and gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like they didn't even walk in and say hello. They literally just beat the horn outside.
And February the 1st is the first day of Black History Month. So
it is perfect.
Right on brand.
It is perfect. It is alignment. Take advantage of it. This is our opportunity to highlight everyone who deserves recognition. So let's continue to support.
Yes. Okay. So continuing with the support.
Yes.
Beginning on October 6th, running through the 12th, the 4th annual Chattanooga Hip Hop Week is set to take place. This week will be filled of a variety of events, including art exhibits, poetry sessions, live music performances, educational workshops, and more. On October the 11th, it's a Friday, October the 11th, the Chattanooga Hip Hop Summit will kick off a Black and Yellow affair featuring Bun B, that man from Houston. UGK's on. So you can dress in your finest black and yellow attire on the red carpet. There will also be a reception and a fireside chat where you will have the opportunity to hear from Bun B. You'll hear his inspiring story of success, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
Up close and personal, y'all.
Yeah, there's also an exclusive VIP meet and greet available for this event too. So, Chattanooga doing it big, making sure y'all
that
get
is a name.
Up and personal.
Yes, that is a powerhouse name. That is a name brand.
Yeah, last year they were with they had Dame Dash.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I got to meet him.
That was awesome that he came to our town and he shouted out Chattanooga. He was like, y'all.
He said we had a fly city.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
And so y'all give it up for the Hip Hop Summit. You don't want to miss the biggest hip hop event of the year. We'll have a link of all the events in our podcast description. And also shout out to Stratton Tingle and Micah Chapman and C. Grimy, all of those guys that are on the committee of the Hip Hop Summit. Iggy's on the committee too.
Shout out to Iggy. That's the bro.
Something else I was gonna say about them. They just doing it. I mean, this is their 4th annual. I think last year was their best because they had like Russell and
Yeah.
all those producers.
Yes.
Matt Hoffa.
Yes.
We got to meet him too.
Matt Hoffa was there, and that was a great panel. That was a great panel.
And those ladies that we met, the ladies of hip hop. I follow one of them.
I follow both of them, and they were dope because we don't see a lot of the Black female powerhouses or just female powerhouses in general. You know, it's not just Black, it's just women in general. So I'm so glad to be able to have an opportunity again to be up and close and personal. Yeah, it was like we were right there. So it's an intimate setting, and I see that they work hard to put this together. And so I'm proud of everything they did.
A lot of events that's happening that weekend. I was trying to say our homeboy DJ Mac Pro, MC Mac Pro, will be DJing at one of the events.
Yes, so, DJ.
We always shout out to John. Support our homeboy.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Is it Mac Pro or is it MC Pro? Because I was about to say, I've been saying it wrong.
You might have been saying it right.
Oh.
I know him as John.
I just know him as John too. But on Instagram, it's DJ MC Pro.
Okay, then that's what it is then. MC
well,
Pro.
Unless I'm saying it wrong, and I'm sorry if I am.
Mac would be, Mac is MC.
Yeah, no. So it could. Listen, he's in the room. He's in the, he will be in the room. We're going to support. We're going to support.
Yeah. All right. It was like I really don't know. Like I'm trying to think. Like is it Mac or MC?
We're human. One of us is right and one of us is not.
Just gonna leave it. But that is our friend, though.
Yes, it is, and we just know him as John.
We just know him as John. Yeah, we know he be on the DJ
on the ones and twos. He has the best playlist, you guys. And when you need a DJ, look up DJ MC Pro on Instagram. Book him.
We'll put the right name in the podcast.
Shawanda's husband. We're going to shout out Wifey too, because that is the other half of that dynamic duo. And shout out to the Chattery.
Jen.
Yes. That, while we're talking about them, we can't bring up John without bringing up the Chattery and Shawanda and Jennifer.
And the Chattery has a new location.
They do. Is it Broad Street? We'll put the address in our description for that too. Okay, because we want to shout them out. Yes, because it's temporary, but they exist in, so we can still support their classes and get educated, y'all.
It's
Life of learning.
I want to say it's next to the Creative Discovery Museum.
Okay, well then that is like Broad or Chestnut. It's either Chestnut or Broad Street. If it's next to the Creative Discovery Museum.
I don't think that's right either.
Oh, okay.
I know it's on the block somewhere, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, I'm so happy for them, and we're going to. Either way, shout out to them. I'm happy for them. I'm glad that they're still pushing through to get everything restructured.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this week I'm taking the lead of the podcast, and I will be asking Dee some questions. So. For tea time, our topic is the ups and downs of transitioning season. And I'm going to give you guys, you sippers, some information here of what I mean about this. Or, just a little bit more details about the topic. So, life transition refers to significant changes or shifts in a person's circumstances, roles, or perspective. These transitions can be positive or negative and often involves adjustment in personal, professional, or relational areas. Some common examples include career change, starting a new job, changing careers, or retiring, relationships, marriage, divorce, becoming a parent, or losing a loved one, life stages, moving from adolescence to adulthood, or experiencing midlife crisis. Health changes, coping with illness, injuries, or aging, and geographical moves, relocating to a new city or a new country. Transitions can bring uncertainty and a challenge, but they also offer opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and new experiences. Navigating through these changes often requires resilience, adaptation, and support. So we're gonna get all up in the tea on D.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Oh, she ready. She taking tips and stuff. She ready. So D, I have an icebreaker question for you. So this will lighten the mood.
Okay.
We're about to get real deep.
Oh, I definitely feel like this is gonna be therapeutic.
Okay, what's that? All right. If you could go back to any transitional period in your life,
okay,
which would it be and why?
Ooh. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna leave my transitional period that I'm currently in alone because this is transitioning from my 20s to my 30s, my 30s to my mid 30s. It's like my favorite right now. So outside of this existing transition that I'm in, I feel like the time where I'm trying to think, like,
Trying to get comfortable.
Oh no, do your thing. I'm trying to think the time where I transitioned from playing with toys to
talking to boys.
Yeah. That was a fun time. So I'll give two. Because that was very like that was a very youthful time, you know. That was when I started to realize what was pretty about myself. Because I think when I lived in Florida, I was like 5 years old. And I feel like that's when my memories started to formulate. You know, I really don't remember a lot prior to being in kindergarten. I remember a little bit being a toddler when we lived in Florida before I started school. But in Florida, I was 5 years old. But a lot of the kids in my class were white, blonde hair. And so and then my princesses on Disney were, you know, white characters. And so I'm like, I too want blonde hair. And like, you know, my oldest sister and me and my mom was the closest thing around that looked like me. Right. And so, out of that age to like middle school, elementary school, I started growing into seeing more people that look like me and started seeing more black hairstyles and recognizing what I enjoyed about myself. And then as I reached the age where we started interacting with girls and boys and being co-ed, that's when, you know, I had fun learning about being attracted to other, you know, being like, oh, okay, learning what handsome was and learning, you know, how to get dressed for parties. Like, ironically, my youngest daughter had a dance today. I was just showing you those pictures, and she's at that age where, you know, we want to get dolled up. We want to put on maybe a little mascara. She really doesn't wear makeup, but she's like into dresses, and that's a fun age. So I feel like transitioning from like playing in costumes and toys and then starting to dress up and feel like attracted to yourself and to recognize what's attracting you to other people, that was a fun period of like transition for me.
So what about like your age? Like, be a little bit more detailed with how old you were.
So that was when middle school hit. So like maybe like 6th to 8th grade.
Okay.
I feel like from 6th to 8th grade, I stopped wearing barrettes in my hair. Like I think I was wearing barrettes in my hair up until 6th grade. And then after 6th grade, maybe towards the end of 6th grade, I was like wanting to wear my hair down, no more bobos, no more pigtails. I want my hair wrapped. I want to feel like my favorite R&B singers. I started listening to more R&B and wanting to dress like them. Aaliyah was like a vibe, and SWV, Escape, and hip hop was really a part of my upbringing in middle school. Like that's when I really started to get into fashion. I started designing clothes. I started making clothes. And so I really started to understand what I wanted to accentuate about myself. And it was more about me and my choices versus what my mom picked out for me to wear and how she wanted to do my hair. And I just always loved it because that's my mom and I trust her judgment. And then she would let me pick out things here and there that was kid appropriate. But then in middle school, I'm like, okay, clothes are getting tighter. Name brands are starting to matter. I started to recognize the differences between Jordans and Fila's and Reeboks and, money, wanting more money to spend on fashion and balancing it all with school. And then also like getting over being shy. I was so shy, like crippling shy. And then like still being shy to talk to boys. Like I don't think I really got comfortable with that until maybe high school. But yeah, I feel like that was a fun time. And then if we're talking about transitioning as an adult, I think when I transitioned from my job that I had for over 11 years out of that job into not working for a little bit, it was scary, but it was good. It was healthy. It was healthy to take a break from something that you thought you were going to retire from. It taught me how to pivot. It taught me how to adapt. It taught me how to breathe. It taught me how to accept things beyond my control and then have the patience and trust to know things are going to work out, to be okay with not knowing what was going to happen financially, and to also learn the importance of having a fallback plan, even if that's maybe you don't have the wherewithal to have 6 months or 3 months of savings if that was to happen, but just another fallback plan where you maybe could move in to another situation temporarily, or maybe there's another job that you can get that you may not enjoy, but it's a job that can carry you through. And I like to, like, I've had jobs that I call mindless work. It's not the most glamorous job, but you can do it mindlessly and it's still taking a mental break while also bringing some income in while you're trying to figure out the next thing you want to do that you feel more passionate about. But you can't just sit around doing nothing waiting for your passionate job. You're going to do something to bring in money, because again, not everybody has 3 months to sit around and travel and find themselves. Like, you got to have something. So you do what you need to do to bring something in. So that transition was good for me to understand, like, it's okay to not have it all together, and it's okay to take that opportunity to give your brain a second to not worry about what projects are due or what deadlines are missing, what meetings you got to get to. Like, it's okay to just have that moment of clarity, of like having peace. And then eventually you feel good to move into your next chapter. So that transition was necessary for me to get into the transition that I'm in now. And I appreciated that. So
okay. So let's stay right there.
Okay.
I want my next question to ask you is, what are the key changes happening in your life right now?
Ooh, okay.
So you just brought up your job, your new career.
I did.
Let's cheers to that.
Thank you.
This big girl job. She's killing it.
Thank you, guys. And for those who don't know, my industry right now, although I love all things fashion, music, food, my job that pays the bills is based in healthcare, because I'm also passionate about well-being and healthy living. So I've always had a job with a healthcare background. And so I transitioned from being in healthcare as a health insurer, like the payer side of healthcare, to now a more clinical setting. I work in a hospital setting now, which I love because it's very hands-on. I went from being more remote to on-site and interacting with a lot of healthcare professionals and an administration department. So my capacity is more administrative, but it's still very hands-on and it's very supportive of our clinical teams. And I enjoy it. And that's a transition for me because I have worked in hospitals here and there. When I was getting my master's degree, I volunteered at the hospital that I'm at right now. And I was a volunteer for a couple of years. And so now to be here on the other side, entrusted with a lot more responsibility, you feel pressure.
Yeah.
And with every job that I get, I always feel pressure to dominate and be excellent. And so right now I'm transitioning with this pressure with a different type of support system. Mm-hmm. So the support system that I have, my leadership team, I couldn't have asked for a better group to bring me in. I've have felt such a warm embrace with learning the new role and with being entrusted to do things without a lot of oversight. And I'm just very adamant to not let myself down and to be conscious of accepting what I'm doing and growing at a realistic pace. Mm-hmm. So that has been a good transition to know that I'm growing and I'm doing it at a pace that works for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy right now. So okay. That's good. Although, there's always the unknown, I always treat every job like it could be here today and gone tomorrow. So there's that factor that I try to be conscious of as well, to know that I still always need to have a backup plan, worst case scenario. Even though I'm happy and I'm enjoying it, I feel supportive. Things change all the time. No one could have anticipated the pandemic happening when it did. Yeah. So that just teaches me to always have a plan B in the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. Knowing what I went through, I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I can also do this. So it's good to have like multiple things going for yourself. I love that our podcast is still going into another year. When we started doing the podcast, I think we were like, we're going to do it as long as it works for our schedule, as long as we feel good about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that it's still something that's bringing us joy. Mm-hmm. And the support system that we've been getting on the podcast and outside the podcast and people being interested in it mm-hmm. has been good. And so I'm looking forward to how we can grow this part of the transition as well. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like this is another transition where I'm becoming more open about myself to a public setting. I feel like 5 years ago, mm-hmm. I don't think that would have been something I would have tapped into. Like, even at work, I do like a lot of public speaking, and I would have never expected that.
I'm so proud of her. So proud of her.
I would never have guessed that, but because again, I was a very shy youthful kid. I was someone with a stutter, and
I don't think I really recognized
that. It was a long time ago. It was maybe before like I started living in here or even in Maryland.
Okay.
I was still in Florida figuring it out, but yeah, I wasn't the most approachable person. And so to get in front of a crowd and to do presentations, mm-hmm. to moderate a panel, to be in a podcast.
List them, girl. List those accomplishments.
I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. And now I see the possibilities of it. I want this to be something where it grows us mm-hmm. into what we want to do in our future. Lena has a very cool skill set in production, and I could see her in media on events on red carpets and actually like being like a creative director. Like, I could totally see us calling the shots in large spaces based on what we've done, in mm-hmm. this here transition. And it's given me it's energized me. And I think it's a lot to do with being okay with people that appreciate it and people that don't. Yeah. And then also being open to feedback. Like, I accept constructive criticism. I accept feedback. I accept people that are like, maybe hold your mic, don't hold your mic, try this program, mm-hmm. Use this type of microphone, use this type of camera, whatever improves. Like, I'm open to the growth potential, and I think that's enabled me again to be comfortable around people and to put this out to the public, being okay with that feedback in return.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Those are good key changes. I mean, I've already seen it with us reconnecting in 2020 and where you are today. Like, this girl is shining bright. And that's why I feel like you would be the perfect person to talk about life transitions, because I know you have seen so many with being a parent at 20, becoming a mom, and being married, being a wife, and, you know, your life transition after you had to, you know, have a divorce too. So, I mean, in your job role, you going back to school.
Yeah, that was another. Yeah.
Because when we
10 years later,
you were in school.
Mm-hmm.
So she went back to school and got her master's, and now she has this amazing career. And you've had a beautiful journey, and I'm happy that I've been a part of it. And that we're still growing together. But so
thank you.
This is no problem. No problem. I mean, I'm just like, yeah, like you really calling shots right now. And I don't know if you thought you were gonna be doing the role that you were gonna be doing.
Not at all. I didn't
back
even
into school.
No, I just was trying to make. Honestly, I respect my field and I love my industry. I want to make an impact for the world, but I also want more money.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's okay. That's okay.
We're also striving for that.
You'll get that too. But the growth is just very admirable.
Thank you. I see that in you too.
Thank you. So are you like, okay, you talked about like your plans and everything, and you know, after the pandemic and learning how to save and be like prepared for a hardship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with you in this season, are you a little bit anxious, or are you kind of excited, or is it just a mix of both?
Definitely a mix of both. I do feel anxious about things all the time. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like being a mom, and I'm a mom of teenagers. They're 17 as of next week, 15 and 17. And I keep saying, you know, as soon as they graduate high school, that's going to be some weight off my shoulders. And that's not the case. Mm-hmm. The older that they're getting, I do feel like it's not that I'm getting minimize responsibility from their age. I feel like it's just different responsibility. Mm-hmm. So I feel anxious about the responsibility of the teenagers and making sure that I'm doing right by them, because I want them to be comfortable, to be independent after they leave school and they're old enough to move out on their own. I want them to be comfortable to do that. And so I feel like I need to show my strength and my stability so that it can bleed into them. I felt like my parents gave me that. My parents gave me so much stability growing up, and I think we are the result of them. Mm-hmm. All of my siblings are phenomenal individuals, and their counterparts are too. And I feel like it is a reflection of our parents and how they were able to, despite whatever, you know, external things were going on, you know, there was always that stability factor in our household. So I know I'm going to have things all the time that give me angst, but I try to remain stable for them and prioritize the most important things for them, like with their health and with their academics and with their recreational and with their mental. And we have an open dialogue. I'm very transparent with them. And I try to monitor how I move in front of them. And sometimes I fall short. Sometimes I have to check myself with my tone or what I say. Sometimes I can be too transparent, and I try to balance that. But just that pressure of raising them gives me angst. Even though I'm doing well in certain things, one or the other, I still feel like I gotta maintain like the fact that they're looking at me, you know, if I want to make sudden decisions that might change the routine, I have to keep them in mind. But then also like finances change. I think we all are going through things being more expensive. But at the same time, I want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm just like, I want to eat out every day, so I'm going to eat out every day. And I know all the financial gurus are like, don't do that. Buy groceries and make your food last. You could spend the $70 you spent on a meal, and that could be 4 meals.
True, but the schedule that you have,
it hasn't worked out that way. I used to cook so much more. When I worked remotely and I was at home and I wasn't commuting as much. With being on site a lot more, my energy has dwindled when I get home. And I could cook tired. I could absolutely just push through and cook regardless. But at the same time, I just listen to my body and I'm like, what do y'all want to eat today? Now, sometimes I do mix it up and I might purchase my main course of a meal and do vegetables at home because I'll get my vegetables frozen in a bag and put that in a microwave and season those right up and feel like, okay, my kids are eating vegetables too. So it's not all takeout. I try to bleed that into our regimen. So I try to balance that, like making sure that their nutrition is on point and making sure that I'm not completely blowing all my money on just doing fun things. Like sometimes you keep me conscious of that too. And when you're like, I'm not spending no money today. Like y'all will say that.
Oh, okay.
You and Jaquise keep me on my toes sometimes because both of y'all be like, I'm good.
I be pushing the limit. That's why I'm like, me?
I need that sometimes though, because I'm like, I have the time. Why not? But sometimes it's okay when you have the time to not do nothing. And I'm looking forward to that too. Like I was looking at the calendar the other day, like when is the next time I don't have anything to do so I can just not do anything.
We be on the go.
We are on the go. But yeah, I do feel like I feel good about this transition, but I'm also like conscious of what could be wavering on the wrong side of my decisions. But I just keep a positive attitude through it all. Again, I fall short on that sometimes when I get frustrated, but a lot of times it's the kids that get that side of me and I feel bad. And they are the closest thing to me, but outside of them, like a lot of people will just see me, hopefully positive spirits.
Yeah.
Because I try to exercise what I want in return. So yeah, I'm gonna keep smiling even though I'm like
good. So yeah, that's a good place to segue into this next question.
Okay.
You mentioned this previously about in your new role, your current role, you have a great leadership, a great support system there at work. So, other than work, what support system do you have in place, like outside of work?
Okay. I do feel like my support system comes a lot from you and my sisters. Yes. You are neck and neck with my family for sure.
Okay.
My sisters, particularly I'm gonna shout out Allie, my baby sister Allie.
Love Allie.
Auntie Allie. I've been calling her AC lately. Because I'm DC and she AC right now. Allie is definitely a part of my village. Y'all keep me in line as far as not taking on too much. You always offer to be available if I need assistance. And Allie, with her being a college student right now, kid free, she has some flexibility that I have been humbled to take advantage of sometimes. And I appreciate her for letting me do that. My mom, my dad, they are both a part of my village as well. I depend on them. And again, with that flexibility, with them like my dad, he works, but as an educator, you know, again, his schedule is a little bit flexible, and my mom has a flexible schedule sometimes. And so they fill in the gaps between me and my work schedule when it comes to like the kids, and just being available for me to have a place to feel at peace. You know, when I was going through my relationship dissolving, my home here where the man cave is, where we are right now,
supporting us now,
saved my life. Saved my life. And I used to get slack about going back home. And you know, that wasn't very adult of me, you know, to go to a place and let people in my business, and I need to handle it like an adult, especially when my older sister, who is also a part of my village, shout out to my older sister Shara.
Hey Shara girl.
She lives in Murfreesboro. And so when they're going through stuff, she just can't go home. She you know, handles it like an adult, as you know, adults should. But I'm different. I needed my family. Like my situation was different, and I'm open to that, and I'm okay with that. And so that's definitely a support system outside of work. And I'm gonna shout out my brother Isaiah as well.
What's up,
and Allison,
What's up,
my honorary
Allison?
sister. They
so cool.
too are a part of my village. And Jasmine.
Let's not forget Jasmine.
And we're we're getting to my sister cousin.
That's her other sister.
Yes. Yes. I have been very blessed to have a big family. And again, Isaiah and Allison, they are a part of my village in a way that my kids have camaraderie with them, and they have camaraderie with Allie as well. Like they're cool aunts and uncles. Like they literally want to hang out with them, and I love that because I know that they're safe. And I love that my kids feel safe with them. And that brings me to Jasmine, my sister cousin, my other mama to my kids. And when I say they probably talk to Jasmine more than they talk to me, I'm not exaggerating. They probably do. And I love that for them. I love that they have that outlet of responsible character in Jasmine. And she feeds me what I need to know from that. She probably doesn't tell me everything because, you know, she maintains their trust, and I appreciate that, but she knows what to let me loop me in on. And she humbles me. Sometimes she's like, yeah, the kids are like saying, you know, you was gone, this, that, or the third, and you might not have handled this the way they expected you to handle it. And, you know, they kind of have a point. And so she brings me down to earth, and I respect her. I respect her decision to tell me that, and I respect her opinion, and I take heed to that, and I have a conversation with the kids as a result of it. But it's not a heated conversation because she came to me level-headed. And it's healthy. I love all the healthy relationships. I love that my kids have created relationships within their school system, and that I trust them to be with their friends. And Monet, like I said, today was a dance for her, and she wanted to get ready at her friend's house. And the moms of her friends, shout out to their circle and their moms on both sides. Like Mia and Monet both have friends at schools who have cool ass parents that we can all trust our kids around each other with. And they're responsible, and it really helps that I can have trust with responsible people, and that they're a part of my support system, because that's what I look for, you know, responsible characters that I can trust and be honest with and accept their honesty in return. And I feel like I can depend on them. And I know that they depend on me too as needed. I'm always waiting for that opportunity to, you know, pay it back. So I'm happy that that is around, because again, it's circles like these that literally saved my life when I felt like I was going through such emotional turmoil in a relationship that, you know, I wanted to nurture. But when it wasn't working, it's kind of like they filled in the gaps on what I felt bad about.
Yeah. And I'm sure with you in that situation, knowing how long it was, elevating and moving on from that, I'm pretty sure that was very challenging.
It is, especially when, again, my parents were together all my life. So
that was the example.
Yeah, that was the example. And then again, my oldest sister, she's going on over 10, 15 years of marriage. I think it's like, it'll be almost 20 years of marriage for her. My little sister just got married. And my brother has Allison, and their wedding will probably be soon. So I feel like a bit of a black sheep, but not in a bad way, because I'm single by choice. I think if I wanted to be married, I could have been married by now. I think there might have been some contenders, maybe. I don't know if I milked it the right way, but
she's still single.
I'm still single, people.
I'll put her phone number in the description.
Listen, we're gonna see. I'm open to that. I am. Oh, okay.
Don't let nobody crazy coming at you. Absolutely not.
Y'all can DM me though.
Send a DM. We'll put her Instagram in the description.
I have availability right now. No one has applied no real true pressure. And we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I am accepting being single, despite the fact that I grew up where relationships were solid. And relationships have ups and downs, of course. But because I grew up where they were mostly like, we pushing through our ups and downs, when I couldn't push through mine anymore, it was hard. It was hard. And I do take accountability for whatever was my part in it. But that doesn't mean that I was able to push through. Yeah. And I felt so good when it was over. And I co-parent with that individual to the best of my abilities. And I feel healthier as a result of being on my own, and I'm okay with that. And I'm young, I don't feel like it's going to be forever. But I'm comfortable with it right now. I feel like, again, with the support system that I had, and the projects that I was doing with work and with school, that really helped me navigate life outside of a relationship. So, if I was to give any advice about how to manage your feelings out of getting out of something that really was close to you and you're hurting, for me, it helped me to get busy. Like, school was a great distraction. Exercising was a great distraction. I had gotten into a regimen of exercising Tuesdays and Thursdays. I had gotten to that. Oh, no, go ahead.
No. You're going into the next question was, how do you practice self-care during this transition system? I mean, this transition season.
Exercising was great for me. And I need to remind myself of that today, of how important it is to put that in a schedule. In the same way that the kids get to school Monday through Friday by 8:30, they're in school. That's locked in. That's like clockwork. I need to make exercise a part of my schedule again, because when I was going through transitioning, being active and taking, I just got some vitamins today. Like, I was, y'all, excuse me, I'm about to.
Oh, we keep it real.
I'm so sorry, y'all. But yes, I got some vitamins today because I just want to be mindful of my health. And I felt like exercising was great. And I was taking supplements like clockwork. I was doing like smoothies and putting green powder and protein in my smoothies. And
like green powder, like matcha?
Yeah, green powder. Matcha with some veggies in it. and just taking my smoothies every morning, drinking tea with my smoothie and exercising. Like it was like clockwork. And I think it's because I was working from home. And so it was easy for me to do my routine and then just get on my computer and get back at it. Nobody could see me. And so I'm trying to realize how to get back into that without working from home, how I can bring that into my work day again, because that self-care was crucial. It just made me feel so good about myself, because at my age, your bones become a part of what depends on your self-care, your bones, your skin. I want to catch it while it's early. I don't want to wait until it becomes a problem. And so
y'all not have a gym on site?
Not really. I think they're renovating it.
Oh, okay.
So we hadn't really had access to fitness on site. But I need to block off a time in my calendar to go to the Y. And honestly, our friend Haley teaches a class on Mondays at noon, and it's been on my calendar since she told us that. And we're gonna prioritize that. But yeah, that's self-care, exercising. And again, eating out is self-care for me. I don't care. I'm going to eat out. I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's the experience, because I know people are like cooking and cooking and cooking, but I value my time, and cooking does take time away. Doing those dishes take time away, and being in a nice restaurant, it's just nice. And I enjoy that company, you know, when it's us eating, or if I take my kids out. I really love taking the kids out to eat. We talk and they eat, and I just listen, and it takes pressure off of me. I have like 5 things I rotate in the kitchen, and I just let them choose what we're gonna eat, because I know they get tired of that. Simple. I know, keep it simple. That's self-care. Having my drinks with my friends and our hangs is self-care. Being sociable. When I was thinking about moving for work, that's what makes it daunting to relocate, because you create a community, and my community here is self-care. Having that community is self-care. Finding places to meet people is self-care, because even before, we were really locked in, I was going to different events to try to find community. And that was fun, and that's self-care, to interact with people who are like-minded and there for the same reason. So they're not standoffish, everybody's there to interact. So when you find events like that, where people approach you, I feel like that was good for me during my transitional times. And then also enjoying not doing anything at all. Again, like I was saying, I can't wait to find a time on my calendar where there's no events, nothing scheduled, and just being in the bed or on the couch.
Not gonna lie, that is exactly what I've been doing.
I am proud of you for it.
I'm in transition season too.
I'm proud of you. I think that's okay. I love seeing posts online, and Instagram is self-care for me too. I don't abuse Instagram. I use Instagram for how I need to use it. For laughter and for inspiration. My algorithm makes me laugh, and it makes me think. It makes me inspired. I have like all these spiritual pages, but I also have all these fun pages, and that's important for me. Like in the mornings, I literally get energized. Like I know they're like, no, you're not supposed to get up and look at your screen first thing in the morning. I'm like, look at him. Who is they?
Who be making these rules?
Instagram sometimes, but I don't look at that. I look at Instagram for what makes me laugh in the morning, and it wakes me up. Like sometimes I wake up and I start scrolling.
The newspaper. That's what they used to do back in the day.
I pull it up and I'm like, okay, I'm up now. This shit is funny.
Yes.
I'm awake now. And so I use that. I just have to remember to not let it distract me.
Yeah.
When I need to be doing other things.
Yeah, and I can tell, because I send her funny stuff all day. I send her these reels. Like, look, girl, look at this. And I'll send it like early in the morning. She won't look at it until like 6 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock or something. I'll be like, oh, she just
listen, you, my mom, and Uncle Daryl, I see it and I'm so like, I'll get to it. Even though I'm like, oh, I'm about to look at it. No, I'm going to look at it later. But this self-care, I don't care.
Yeah.
I use
That's
my
good.
social media for how
For
it helps me.
laughter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. We are pushing time, so I'm gonna ask you 2 more
Ooh, I
questions.
cannot believe time is already hitting this. It felt like only 5 minutes went by.
This is good. This is good. You giving us a lot of tea, and I'm pretty sure the sippers can appreciate that.
I hope so, y'all.
So, what are your long-term goals, and how do they align with this transition?
Ooh, y'all. So, okay. I want to be, of course, financially stable and spiritually balanced. I might should have said spiritually balanced first and financially stable, but y'all know my heart.
That's the alignment.
The Lord knows my heart, and I definitely feel like that's important. I talk to God all the time, and I feel like that's long term for me, to be spiritually at peace, and for my kids to be guided in that way as well. So long term, I have to include them. I want my kids to be stable and balanced, spiritually at peace, and that's what I want for myself as well. And then financially set, because long term, I mean, how many years are we talking? Like 10 years from now, I'm going to be 46. I'll still be working, but I want to be at a point to where my finances enable me to travel to wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go.
You heard it. I heard that. I know that's right.
And also, if we're talking 10 years from now, I do envision being with somebody.
Partnership.
Monogamy, I feel that that's in the future for me. If it feels good. I also do know people in their late 40s who are still like in their just gonna have a roster right now, and if that feels good, then maybe. But I also like the idea of having a companion, that one person who is gonna take care of you, and that you can take care of them, that y'all can depend on each other. So I do envision that. I want to have that person to travel with, and
to grow old
with. So that's a big. Okay, spirit, tell me something.
I know.
The spirit is talking.
We want to grow old with somebody.
Yeah. What y'all trying to tell me right now?
Yeah.
Ancestors, let me know. But yeah, I do want that though. Yeah. I do want that. And again, if we talking 10 years from now, I'm not gonna be too old to be like still looking fabulous and fit. And work wise, I think I'll be like in a leadership position. Like right now, I feel like my role is mid-management. I'm mid-management level. I feel so 10 years from now, I totally feel like I could probably be like in the upper heads, leading a department. I hope that that's where my intelligence is capable to do. If I want to, if that's something that I want to do, or, maybe I might be one of those people that just get paid to speak, and I'm just living off of that. Because apparently in planning these events and hiring people to speak at them, y'all expensive. Y'all making money. So that might be an idea. So, but yeah, honestly, that's where I'm at long term wise. I just want to travel, and I want to be stable and spiritually at peace, so that with trials and tribulations, because I'm spiritually at peace, I know that things are going to be cool,
Okay. And then this is the last question, because you pretty much took us on your journey. You talked about when you were a child, you talked about your middle school era. Era. You talk about your marriage era. You talked about your children becoming a mom. You talked about going back to school and the career you are now.
Yes.
How do you celebrate small victories during this transition?
Okay. Oh, I like that question. Ooh, I like that question because it's not easy to answer actually. Because it's easy to say that I celebrate things by buying myself nice things, you know, whether that's a nice meal or something nice. Like even the other day when I was buying Monet a dress for her dance today, I went home with 3 garments as well.
He gonna celebrate herself.
I was like, I too deserve this.
Okay.
So yeah, I do celebrate small victories by spending money. But I also celebrate small victories by accepting compliments. Like sometimes I find where like I'm quick to be like, well, thank you, but there's just so much more I want to do. You know, like
yeah,
I
know what you mean.
You know, like
oh, thank you,
but
yeah.
You know, so I think it's important for me to celebrate that recognition and just saying thank you, period. Yeah. And just being okay with like being acknowledged. Like my director at work, she's so sweet. She's always, you know, grateful of how much I assist. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing my job. You know, that's what I'm here for. And I want to do more. I'm just trying to keep my, you know, I'm trying to keep my place. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to really prove my position. But also I need to remember to just celebrate that moment and just being like, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for acknowledging.
Or,
yeah,
you know, this isn't being conceited, but just, you know, recognizing I did that too. You know?
I like that. And that's important. I think that's important to take a moment to realize that you've earned that acknowledgement and just sit with it. So I think that's a way to celebrate it, to just sit with it and let it build upon each other. Like let those moments stack, you know, small wins. Even if it's like you got the kids to school on time or you got the kids to school early, you know, just patting yourself on the back for that.
That's so true. Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
When I used to make it to work on time, make it to the gym early to stretch before the workout and not just coming in while the workout starts. I mean, that does make a difference. It makes a hell of a difference. So, yeah, those small
wins
are very small wins that we need to celebrate.
I agree. I absolutely agree. You brushed your teeth before you went to bed.
You washed your face.
You washed your face before you went to bed.
Yeah.
You know, I think those small wins are important. If you made your bed before you left.
Ooh, I would love to celebrate that because I never do.
I know. And sometimes I get into the habit of doing it every day. And then there's maybe a moment where I don't. And then next thing you know, it's kind of like, well, I'm about to wash them sheets anyway. So what's the point? Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I didn't get to wash my sheets. And then next thing you know, 2 days done went by. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I made my bed all week. No issues. I put the clothes up after I washed them. You know, small wins like that. And then big wins like, hey, I got a new job, or hey, I put the application in, or you know, that's important. That's important. Even when it's like and I was telling you this the other day, there were jobs that I thought I wanted, that I really wanted to get an interview for, and maybe even interviewed for them and didn't get them. That can be celebratory as well, because it's kind of like, what did God block me from?
Yeah, it's the perspective. Having that perspective. We didn't talk about this. I went to a career festival, a hiring event, at a company this Thursday or so.
Yeah.
And I spoke with someone to assist with mock interviews, and I guess she's like part of the talent hiring team at that company.
Yeah.
And she was saying, like, I said that too because, you know, sippers, I am not working right now. I haven't disclosed that to y'all, but I'm not working right now. I'm in transition too. And right now I'm still looking for a job, but I'm also taking my time because life been lifing.
Yeah.
But I'm just in transition. It's taking longer than expected, but I'm accepting that some of these positions they're not for me, you know? Mm-hmm. But the hiring lady was saying, like, dang, what was she saying?
Well, I was saying, what is God blocking me from when I didn't get all the things I thought I wanted?
Keep that perspective,
mm-hmm.
because some things aren't for you,
mm-hmm.
but still use like the interview and everything as practice,
yes,
you know, to keep you going.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all I had to say.
No, that's real. That is real, because for every interview I went through, let me tell you something. I had a spreadsheet of jobs where I literally applied to all these jobs, and every job that I applied, I put it on a spreadsheet and I notated, this is the day that I applied, this is the day that I interviewed, and would strike through all the ones that sent me them boo-boo letters. Yep. But, you know, for every interview experience.
That's good organization, because I just be getting letters like, oh, I don't even remember applying for you.
No, I got a record. I got a record of all of you guys that missed out on me. I got a list.
Yeah. Tell them.
But for every experience, though, you know, it helps. Every interview helped me prepare for the next interview. There's no interview where I've answered exactly the same questions. There might be like some questions that overlap, but there's never an interview where they ask me 10 questions and then I go into another interview and they ask me the exact same 10 questions. That's never happened. So I've always had that experience to prepare me for another experience, which, and you know, eventually just helped me in my job. Yeah. You know, the more you become comfortable talking to people you don't know in a professional capacity, because my kids will tell me, like, you know, sometimes I have to take meetings from the car. And my my youngest will put her headphones on. She's like, "You gonna start using that voice again?" And I'm like, "And am
that voice again."
I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna talk to everybody.
Are so fun. I love the nieces. I do.
Listen,
so much personality.
You guys get my podcast conversation. My work gets my work conversation.
That's fine.
And that's, you know, but that, you know, that setting in these interviews have helped me with everything else that follows. Now, so there's no time wasted. There's no time wasted.
I feel like your voice, you articulate yourself very well, and
thank you.
You have a hell of a vocabulary. But I'm curious of how you talk to people
at work.
Because I feel like you talk like that here.
I might not code switch as much as I think I do. I mean,
or it might just be in you. You know, you just know how to.
The kids think the kids think I switch it up. I think there's a difference between how I talk to people at work and maybe how I talk to my friends. Because when I on the phone with people that are not coworkers, you know.
Well, okay. But I feel like you still bring a lot of that here too.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you talk on the phone to a police officer, and it was nice. It was like, I was like, damn, like, I ain't even think of that word.
Listen,
like, I would call him officer. I'm like, I would have just said, yes, sir. She said, yes, officer. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, she's very articulate. She does it well. But I'm just thinking, like, there's no way that you bring a lot of that here.
Thank you.
You bring a lot of that here. So I'm thinking, like, well, how do you talk to people at work? It must be the same way you talk to the police officer.
And maybe that's what it is. It's my officer voice, because listen, people appreciate when their titles are recognized. So if I'm talking to someone who's military and they're a commander, I'm going to call them commander. Smith or lieutenant.
Yeah.
If they're obviously if they're a doctor, I'm gonna call them Doctor
Yeah.
Blasey Blasey, Professor Blasey Blasey.
Yeah.
But
unless you tell me otherwise,
you know, put some respect on your name. But also, like, I think tone is important, and all my life I've been told I talk white, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not ashamed of that. I don't think I've ever been ashamed of that, because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have no other way of talking. So I usually take it as a compliment, because I'd rather sound, but it's also offensive because I'm like, why do y'all think
Black people that can't be articulate?
Yeah, and why is white the standard?
Yeah.
It kind of says more about them than it does about me.
Well, you know, people be projecting.
Yeah. I feel like when people say that, it says more about them than me. So it's hard to be totally offended about it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who would love to have a conversation with you. I'm pretty sure my nephew.
Oh,
because he correct my grandma all the time. He would love to talk to you.
I would, yeah. We'll get into it, because I love when I love that the kids value my input on presentation and they present to me, because it gives me a chance to coach them. And so that's also maybe something in my future. I might have some coaching in my future if I can really polish that skill set about myself. The other day, Monet read her presentation to me, and I'm like, listen here, girl. You make sure you look at that audience. You smile through it. You make sure that you practice what you're reading, and it's okay if you skip here and there, and don't look down at your paper the whole time. And also, if you're not confident on how to pronounce something, skip it or figure that out ahead of time, you know. And it's great that she's practicing. Like, that's the biggest thing. And I am passionate about presentation and being.
But D, I think you're very polished.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
I really do. Like, I don't even think it's like, I think it's a lot of confidence there, but I think that you're very polished on how you present yourself. You're not sloppy. And even when it comes to like this podcast, like this situation, you want to make sure that it's polished.
I do. I care.
So there are a lot of things that I have picked up from you because of your poise.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
I think you're very polished. If you want to go into being a coach or into etiquette, I think you can do that.
I appreciate you for saying that.
I think you could.
Because that literally just came to my mind, like, right now.
I definitely think you could.
I appreciate that. I feel like that could be a calling. So,
well, this is going to conclude our conversation about life transition, and we may do a part 2 where Dee can interview me.
We are going to do a part 2 because this was great. And I would love to bounce these same questions. Like, it took everything out of me not to ask you these questions in return. But for the sake of time, I bit my tongue.
We'll do a part 2.
Okay.
But I appreciate you being so transparent.
Thank you.
And I feel like our sippers missed that about us, because we have had a lot of guests last season where we hadn't had a lot of time to just chime in about who Dee and Lena is. Yeah. But I appreciate you being very transparent. That's what Tea and Champagne is about. And now I feel like you literally are living the champagne lifestyle. You've gotten through so much things. You've talked about your journey. And even with this season 3 is about becoming who you are. That's our theme. Yeah. And you're embodying that, sis.
Thank you.
You're doing very good at that.
Thank you. And I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna just say thank you because I appreciate it. Because there's a lot I want to say,
but you try not to. That's right. That's growth, baby. That's growth. But she's doing well. She's doing so well. Yeah. And I just knew that you would be perfect for this topic.
Thank you. I appreciate this topic. Thank you for organizing and orchestrating all of this. And of course, this is easy to say it to you as well, but we'll get to that in part 2. Y'all stay tuned.
Oh, y'all want some real tea?
Yes.
A little lemon in it.
We need all the tea. We need all the tea.
All right. So before we set our intentions for the week, I just have a few quotes for anyone that may be listening to this and feel like they're in this season, transition season, because I mean, it's a part of the journey. It's a part of our lives. So I found a few quotes online that I feel like can be inspirational.
Okay.
How do you say this name? Okay.
I don't know.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So the first quote I have is change is the only consistent in life. The next one is the beautiful thing about transition is that they create an opportunity to reinvent yourself. The next one is sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go, but rather learning to start over. And the last one is your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
those are deep.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we'll get into part 2 because I have a lot to spill too. But I'm just really happy that we have this platform and it's growing, and we've come a long way, and that our sippers are able to get to know us a little more and find out who we really are and how we're becoming and how we spilling tea.
I agree.
And how we live in a champagne lifestyle. So
I agree, because champagne is what you define it to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like we're defining it for us right now as how we're living it right now. So
yeah.
And I feel at peace. I think that's a big core of it for me right now. I feel at peace. So thank you guys.
Are your intentions?
Oh, girl. So my last intention was to plan out clothes, in advance for the week.
Yeah.
I kind of did that.
Okay, good.
I kind of did. Even if it meant going to the store and buying a few outfits for the week.
Okay. D gonna practice her self-care. Okay.
So this week, I'm not going to do that in that way. I'm not going to buy outfits every day for outfit planning. But I am going to try to think about my closet and, prepare for the week in that fashion. But in addition to that, I feel like it's important this week to take my vitamins. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be simple. I'm going to just say take my vitamins, because I said I bought some vitamins recently. Because for a while I was very habitual on taking vitamins every day until I ran out, and then never bought any more. And it's been some months. I'm not even gonna lie. I went to the doctor and it was like, your vitamin D is kind of low. So she prescribed me a prescription. Ugh. Like, how low is it? I got to take a prescription. So yeah, I've been taking a prescription, and so now I'm taking I'm gonna take a multivitamin as well. Because something else that brought that on is my oldest sister texts everybody in the group chat like, "Are y'all taking collagen?" And I'm like,
She did.
Yeah,
I ain't even answer that.
Well, I did, because I was like, yeah, I used to put it in that was a part of my smoothie.
Yeah.
That was a part of my smoothie. And then I ran out and never bought any more.
What's her name? Jennifer Aniston had a campaign, like a commercial about that, putting it in her water.
Jennifer Aniston from Friends. Yeah. I'm taking that now. I bought some. And so now my intention for the week is to be on schedule with taking those every day. And I bought my girls some teenage vitamins as well. Okay. So we're all taking a multivitamin. So stay tuned on how consistent we're going to be with that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My intentions for the week. I know I told y'all I was thinking about prepping. Not prepping. Purging.
Okay.
Purging clothes.
Yes.
I did not do. Well, no, I think I did.
Okay.
Because I did clean up my room. I've had some time to actually go through laundry. Nice. And clean up my room.
Nice.
And purge through some things. And I saw some stuff and I just threw it away. Like, I was like, this stuff has run its course.
Nice.
Put some things in there. I think it was only 2 or 3 tops though.
Okay.
But that's something. And this week, I'm gonna edit the podcast.
Yeah, because we're promoting something that's effective as of today.
Yeah.
So
I'm editing the podcast for sure. I really don't have any tensions of the week. I feel like I'm in a very good space considering where I am right now.
Okay.
I quit my job 2 weeks ago, and I feel like when you were talking about your relationship, how you felt good.
Yeah,
that's how I feel right now.
I
am ready. I think I'm a little bit ready to go back to work, but you know when you gotta leave toxicity.
Absolutely,
toxicity is just
just
you gotta leave it. You cannot stay in that.
Absolutely.
And I think God has been blessing me because I haven't been working for like 3 weeks, and God just know I needed time to rest.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think, yeah, God just needed time for me to rest. So, I'm probably gonna be a little bit more productive this week, because this past week I have been chilling. Like, I cleaned up, but I've been chilling. But this week I think I'm gonna be back productive. I've been going to the gym, been consistent with that, and the results are showing. I like how things are sitting.
And y'all see the skin,
and the skin
get into the skin. The skin is skinning.
Arms are leaning out.
Yes,
the face, and the body, and the booty.
Yada yada.
The booty is top shelf.
Yada
I'm
yada.
looking like D.
Body, body. Listen, I'm about to be trying to look like Lena. Okay. Like she came through. The booty.
Body's sitting up like hers.
Again, I'm gonna try not to downplay my compliments. I'm be quiet.
Just saying, they gonna see 2 peaches.
Y'all get into it, okay? So
it used to be a pancake and a peach. So you gonna see 2 peaches.
Listen.
I'm just playing.
I am here for whatever your goals and intentions are. Listen.
But anyways, but yeah, I've been consistent with the gym. I'm enjoying that. First of all, I'm so happy to be back in the gym. As Dee was talking about putting it in her schedule, it is so necessary, and it's one of my first loves. Yeah. Well, maybe not my first, but it's one of my loves. Like, becoming an adult, the gym has been like a love. And every time I leave it, I know I feel weird. Yeah. And when I come back to it, I feel great. That's part of my self-care. So being consistent with that, and finding ways to be a little bit productive. I'm about to start work soon. But yeah, I'm just enjoying life right now. And that's all I got. I'm enjoying life, and that's all I got. I'm in a really good space.
Like, that's huge. That's
health
huge.
Health-wise, mental-wise.
Nice.
So yeah.
I see it on you. I see it on you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, sippers, thank you for listening to this episode. Again, if y'all would like to be a guest on Tea and Champagne, we want to have y'all. We got so many ideas. Like, we have so many ideas.
We do.
And we have a line of guests that we have in perspective, but we wouldn't mind if y'all would want to be a guest too. You know what I mean?
It's just space and opportunity.
And don't be shy to share your tea.
Yeah, tap into the comments when we make our post.
Yeah. Say something.
And chime into the dialogue. Yes. Let's make this an engagement. Let's make this interactive. Yes. We love to hear from you. Yes. We really love to hear from you. And I think that y'all's energy does nothing but make us better. Yes. So thank you guys for your support.
Yes.
And thank y'all for tuning in.
Don't forget to nominate your favorite BC Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Get on that today.
Click the link.
Day.
2 seconds. And 2 minutes tops.
You can go ahead and throw us in there for best podcast again for the second time.
Go ahead and nominate Tea and Champagne. Nominate Tea and Champagne. And then vote when the time comes to vote.
Yeah. For us again. I'll vote for your favorite. We appreciate everybody voting
we
for
do.
us. But if you
We do.
vote for us,
shout out to all the nominees.
Yeah. All right, sippers. Thank y'all for listening.
Mwah. Bye, y'all.